Hello, hi, welcome. I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour video today of this sketchbook that I did last year. So this was February to June 2020, this sketchbook. So it was a little while ago. I've kind of forgotten what's in here, so I shall find out at the same time as you. This is a Moleskine sketchbook, and I quite like those as a brand. They're pretty good. They're not my favourite sketchbook ever, but they don't handle like wet media that well. They don't handle like watercolour and stuff very well, but they are really nice with fine liners and pencils and markers, so it's like a 6 out of 10 sketchbook. And oh, don't you just love when you finish a sketchbook and all the pages are like fat and crinkly? That's great, that's the good stuff. Anyhow, let's get into it and see what's in here. All right, let's tuck in. So stickers, I don't know where this one's from. These are some of my ones that I used to sell. I don't anymore. And that came with Andy's laptop. Dates of when I started and ended, and more stickers. This is a picture of me with the dog at Lake Windermere, I think it is. That's the first page there. So that's pretty intense first page. So this is the sketchbook that I did after, this was kind of the first sketchbook I did after quite a long art block. Before I started this sketchbook, I hadn't really drawn anything for about 4 or 5 months, and I eased myself back into drawing again with stuff like this, basically like lots of repetitive small scribbly areas, because I wanted to get back to drawing, but I didn't want to use my brain too much because I don't want to stress myself out. So like I found it really therapeutic to do lots of kind of like scribbly textured areas with the pen, which is like a kind of like mindless repetitive thing. So that was how I kind of eased myself back into drawing after a long break. There's the dog. Whenever Andy opens his guitar case, the dog climbs in because it's like lined with fur, and he's like, oh, a bed for me. Yeah, more pen texture stuff. And these are the words by our house. I made this into a print for my shop for a little while. The 4 things in a grid. I think these are drawn from Pinterest. More pictures. Japan trip, things left to do. Oh man, that's just tragic looking back at this. So this will have been like February, March or something that I did this, and we had planned to go on a trip to Japan in May 2020. So at this point in time, at this like time capsule, I was fully thinking I was about to go to Japan next month, and I was writing my final to-do lists. So man, that's tragic. Obviously we didn't end up going. We haven't been since either. I think it's kind of put off indefinitely. This is a cool page. I like this. You can see what I mean about the pen texture. I was enjoying doing this kind of thing, like repetitive scribbly areas. That was kind of like soothing to do, but also I think it gives a cool effect. Flat Caps, Newcastle. This is a cafe fairly near where we live that I like going to sit and work sometimes. That's a picture of it. I like this page too. That's a Florence and the Machine lyric, I think. Yeah, womp womp. That is Tangy from Animal Crossing. This is about the time that the Animal Crossing game had just come out, and I was fully obsessed with it, and this was me drawing her to like manifest her, to summon her to my island. Didn't work. I still don't have her. She's my favourite. That's cool, I like that. This is a famous quote. I'm not sure who said it, but it wasn't me. I'm not that poetic. I do this a lot. See how I've stuck in a page to cover something up here? Just because, I don't know, like I don't like every page of my sketchbook, and although some people say, oh, you know, your sketchbook should be for anything and everything, you should be able to just make mistakes and it doesn't matter. I mean, I agree, but I don't really like having a sketchbook with messy pages because it kind of discourages me from using the rest of the sketchbook, and I don't enjoy looking back through it, so I don't really see any harm in covering up drawings that you don't like or ripping them out or something. In fact, yeah, that's basically what I've written here. I didn't plan that. I don't remember what's on these pages. Yeah. Lots of fun texture work. I also did loads of birds at the time. It's funny remembering what like little art phases I went through a year ago. The bird phase and the scribble phase. It's fun, I like this. Oh, I love this. I remember when I did this at the time, I was so proud of it. I still really like it, but I really loved that at the time. So yeah, this is me testing out watercolour on Moleskine paper. It just doesn't like it. It doesn't the Moleskine paper, it sort of like sucks in the watercolour and it makes these like weird scrubby areas where the paper pills, so it doesn't really work. I can't remember if that was supposed to be me or not. Possibly. My desk. This is like a diary page basically, like a record of everything I had on my desk on this day. Empty orange juice glass. Good for me, getting my vitamin C. The odd ugly page. That's just sketchbooks though. A study of another artist's work. Oh, Posca pens. I was quite into them at the time. They actually work, Posca pens. They work quite well on Moleskine paper, which it's kind of surprising because they're such a fussy pen. They hate a lot of papers, but they work quite well on this. Oh, and when you see these like fashionable looking people on all of these pages, these are people from Tokyo Fashion, which is an Instagram account that I follow that I use for a lot of drawing references. Fun coat. There's me and Andy and Doug. And another Tokyo Fashion person. Oh man. I still haven't done most of these things. I did get my haircut today, which was such a relief because I desperately needed a tired-legged creature on my head. I'm planning on doing this next month, and I have been back to this coffee shop, which is really nice. Some pen swatching and mixing. There's the dog again. I draw him quite a lot. Doesn't he? Yeah, this is the recipe we came up with during the quarantine because there was a real rush on the shops. Everyone started hoarding food. Even though there wasn't any food production problems, everyone was hoarding it anyway. So we ran out of food even though there was enough to go around. So this was what I kind of concocted from everything that we had in the cupboard because we couldn't get anything else in, and I made this kind of hodgepodge chili and it came out really good. I obviously didn't like that one. Another journal page. Oh yeah, there's the chili in action again. This is my house. Is that safe to put on the internet? No, I don't think anyone's going to guess what that is from that. We live about 10 minutes out of Durham, which is one of my favourite cities. It's really, it reminds me of the Curious Village from Professor Layton, and then it's got these old hodgepodge buildings all cobbled together and little staircases and winding streets. It's like a very old European English town. Another journal page. And oh man, I made so much banana bread during quarantine. I know that's such a cliche thing, quarantine thing to do, but it's just, it's wholesome and heartwarming, and you need that during stressful times. Places I miss in Edinburgh, Botanic Gardens. We moved away from Edinburgh about a year and a half to 2 years ago now, and there are lots of things I miss about it. Even though I do like Durham, there are lots of things I miss about Edinburgh, including the Botanic Gardens. I really like the texture and the look of the back of the marker page. It's really nice. Someone else from Tokyo Fashion account, I think. It's interesting looking back at these because I think I draw faces a lot better now. I think I've gotten, I really had like same face syndrome or whatever they call it. I think that I think I'm better at faces now than I was back then. More from Tokyo Fashion. I obviously wasn't getting tired of scribbling by this point. Pen texture. I like it though. Gouache works a little bit more successfully on this paper than watercolour does. Kind of works okay. Got a little diary comic here. This was a plan for a liner print that I did that you may have seen. Like a capsule wardrobe, I think. And some pen swatches, and this is quite an old painting. This was maybe 2 or 3 years old, this one. And I think this is probably another case of me just like sticking it in to cover up a cringy kind of page. And yeah, that's it. So that is, like I said, so that one took me about 4 or 5 months to fill up. So that was February to June 2020. Thanks for watching, and if you keep your eyes peeled, I'm about to start a new drawing challenge quite soon. I'm going to be uploading a video every day of June. So if you want to see what all that is about, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.